So I'd like to give you some thoughts I have on creating an image. I find that seeing the world as puzzle pieces or a flat object first before we start putting in form and texture and other things is the easiest way I have in developing an image. So an example I always give is, let's take the United States. And if someone asked me to draw the United States and said, okay, I want you to draw them, but I'm going to give you the order of states that I want you to draw it in. So first I'd like you to draw Illinois, then Maine, then Florida, California, Utah, West Virginia, and then Louisiana, and so on until we filled the whole United States. What's interesting, when you put them in an order where they're not adjacent to each other, where they don't share a border, it gets very hard to gauge distances and to create the one piece because you don't have the other pieces. You can see how my distances and overall shapes get out of whack. The eastern seaboard is vertical, or even goes leaning a little bit left as it goes up, when it actually should lean right. There isn't room for some states and there's too much room for others. Illinois is so high, you can see here, that there isn't enough room for Wisconsin or Minnesota. This causes a problem. And to me, this is very similar. Let's say you're painting a figure and you had flesh color. You're painting the head, and then you go paint the foot, and then you go paint the hand. For one, you might not notice or pay close enough attention that the flesh color is actually going to be different in different locations. And as you paint it, things are going to get placed wrong, where if you build out from one spot, you're going to have a much easier time. For example, so what if we build out in state by state? So I live in California, so I'll start in California and build something I know fairly well. Same with if I'm making an image. Find a color you can mix, a shape you know you can make, and build out. Then I'll go to Nevada and Arizona. Because they share borders, the one will already help me draw the other, or I can use it as an eraser to clean up my other one if it's not correct. Go to New Mexico, then Utah, Colorado. Those states make four corners, so I can immediately know that I can line those up fairly well. Oklahoma, Oregon, Idaho, Washington, Montana, Wyoming, Texas, Louisiana. You can see real quickly how every shape has helped me build the next shape. And this is so important in the way that I paint, the way I perceive the world, because when you start seeing it as puzzle pieces, you can start gauging relationships of value, of color, of drawing, edge control. There's so many things that you can control when you're doing comparisons. Everything is easier to compare when it is adjacent to something else. Proximity helps you compare and helps you be more correct in what you're creating. However, word of caution, as you can see here, it helped me build the individual shapes, but the overall shape has had a problem because as you can see here, I'm not going to be able to get the northeastern United States. I'll miss New England in this example of creating this image because I built from my side, but it didn't, as you can see here, I didn't leave enough room for everything else. So how do you correct this? You start with a quick outline, quick rough. One interesting thing about painting is our paintings are our outline, our rough draft, our first draft that goes to the editor, and our final draft. But they all happen in the same place. So if we can just do a quick outline of the United States, quick sketch of whatever you're going to paint, and give yourself an idea of where this placement is going to happen on your canvas, then we can start building the states within, or the shapes within, and still let it fall where we want, but have some sort of control. You might have noticed in the most southern part of the United States is Texas, and that it didn't match up exactly with my outline. Lay it in with confidence, put down your outline as if you know exactly where it's going, but if it doesn't fall correctly, correct it. That's what I mean by I may not be right, but I am certain.